Hello everybody, welcome to another riveting BBD stream. It's so hot today, dude. So hot. It's incredibly hot. It's like, oh my god, like 2 million degrees. Baby, ¿cuántos grados tenemos? Puedes mirarlo en el móvil. 31 Celsius. We are 31 Celsius outside. Inside is probably like 35. And it's 8 p.m. So you can imagine how hot it is. Hello, Zach. Hello, Quindlina. Hello, Slayer. Hello, Gary. Hello, Archon. Hello, Joe. I just took the dog for a walk and it was like walking on the sun. Here comes the sun. La 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 la. Hello, Nikessi. Hello, K-Bat. I don't know if you saw your lady, K-Bat. This is the work we have been doing today on my own stream. I was working on the cape before ending the stream. So she's coming along. She's coming along. I've been painting her on my Twitch stream, so if you want to watch me paint sexy ladies with metallic boobs, of course I need to blackline all of this and refine everything. It's still a long work, but you know, slow and steady wins the race. So today we're working on the dwarfy boy. I was thinking maybe if I do this, you guys can see me paint without losing. Yeah, you can see this pretty well, I think. Tell me, is the video quality good even with this kind of zoom in? Can you see the image, like my hand, for example? Can you see the wrinkles in my skin and all that stuff? That looks good. Okay, okay. All right. So let's work a bit on this dude. Want to get the skin finished up. So one thing that I don't like about this guy is actually something that we talked about today, which is there isn't really any change in temperature happening across this paint job. And because of that, I feel like we're missing out on a few things. So what I'm going to be doing to start everything off is cool down the shadows on the skin a little bit. Enjoy your peeing. Who I never met before. Is there a way to learn how to paint like you? Well, neurotic with 2 Ks. Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure knowing you. There is actually a way for people like you that never met me before to learn my painting. And that way is joining my Patreon. I am working on this mini for the Patreon currently. It will be uploaded next month. But don't worry, there's thousands of hours of video you can enjoy from. For example, this guy is also on my Patreon. This guy is also on my Patreon. So many puppets for you to learn from and enjoy learning. So yes, person I never met before, you can indeed learn from me. My painting. Enjoy my painting. What a great question. I've just met Minidan as well, yet somehow I'm subscribing to his Patreon and I find it quite beneficial for improving my painting. Ah, that's amazing to know. Thank you. Zachariah_Yam. Thank you. And welcome to the stream. I hope you're well. Can you list off what colors you're using? I'm using a... Yes, I can list it, but I'm not gonna list it in brand. I'm just gonna list it in colors. Because it is better for you. I'm using a desaturated red, a black, and a blue right now. I need to push the shadows a little bit more into a colder colors, into a colder color. It's too light still, so we need to go dark here. Okay. Can you see? Okay, should be able to see. Gotta be careful here with the colors I pick. I do need a bit of skin tone in there. Like, it needs to be basically a gray, I think. But it needs to be darker. So wait, let me just do it on the back here. Yeah, I overcooled the color. So this would be my shadow. No, okay, I can't use this color because it's too light. The red color I'm using is too light, so it's too light and it has gray in it. So as I add the the black to it, it becomes gray. So it's not actually following color theory. So I'm gonna go for a dark red instead. So that's the thing I was talking about today, about like color theory works in terms of overall color, but it doesn't work in terms of actual application most of the time. Because if you want to have a dark color and you want to cool it down, you can't really start from a light color, because otherwise the color will be desaturated too much. So the color I was looking for is more something like what I have now. There we go. And now to this color we can add the skin tone color to gradient. So yeah, like even though I would love miniature painting and traditional art to be some sort of like Photoshop in a way where like you just need to understand the colors to be able to make them work. Unfortunately, miniature painting is not like that. like to achieve true mastery of it, you can see that this arm looks way better than this arm. Like, can we agree on that? Just like for the sake of teaching, can we agree that this arm right now looks a lot more artsy than this arm does? Even though the only thing I did was change the shadow. So like, in order to get the best out of your painting, you need to have a very, very good understanding of pigments. Or to the very least, like, of the value of the pigments. But again, this is great for me. Like, I'm actually feeling really good right now because I am nailing something that I've been struggling to nail for a little while. So that is a good feeling that I have deep in my sphincter right now. So yes. Because now, like, as we... So on my stream today, I had a massive rant about the unimportance of color. Now, if anybody here hasn't seen my stream and would like me to reiterate, I can do it very quickly. But only if you actually care about it, because it's a bit of a long thing to explain. But in my rant, I did, yeah. Believe it or not, I did. But in my rant, I was explaining how the only real color that matters is not the color itself. It's its relationship between lights and shadows. So it doesn't matter if I paint the skin with greens, reds, oranges, blues. What matters is that I get a relationship between the colors that gives me a warm and cold contrast. Either in light or shadow, it doesn't matter. And like that rant, again, because like that's how I learn things. I learn things by teaching them. Hello, cara. Like, I learn things by studying them, but I make them mine when I teach them. That's why teaching is so cool for me, because as I explain something, I have to find words to use to tell it to another person, and it stops being like a feeling in my head, and it becomes an idea, because I have to give it words. That's why language is so important to me, and I love learning languages, because that's how you transform feelings into ideas. So anyway, in light of that conversation, I understood that, for example, looking at this dwarf right now, there was a problem with the color temperature, because my shadows were very red and my lights were very orange. That meant that I wasn't moving on the color wheel at all. So now I can do it. I can have like a magenta, black kind of color in shadow. It doesn't matter what color it is as long as it's cold. And then, as I push the lights with more and more orange and yellow, my guy is gonna look really good. I'll show you in just a second. And again, you can see that I'm using fairly primary colors. I have an orange, I have a blue, I have a deep red. That's pretty much what I got going on. I want to use an ink for the white, just because, you know, since Reaper streams are not life and death kind of paint jobs for me, in a sense that I don't make money off of the paint job. I am here just to hang out. I can try things out, and like, for example, I have these inks that are sitting on my desk and I never use. So I'm like, fuck it. Let's try to use them a bit. Maybe the white will carry me a bit more, who knows. So again, I add orange. To the original skin tone color, I can add orange and white. I need to add white to push the value. And that gives me a lighter, warmer skin tone color. Now, how light this skin tone color is, it's kinda up to you. It depends on the real color of the skin that you imagine, as well as the intensity of the light. Now, this guy is a fairly low light paint job in a sense that I'm not imagining the sun illuminating him. He's in like a crypt and there's like a hole in the wall that is illuminating him. So due to that, I'm gonna keep my lights very small. Hello 8, how you doing? And now we're working with warm colors, so as long as I preserve the blueness in my shadows, the color importance is done. I can highlight this skin with a yellow, with an orange, with a red, it doesn't matter. Now, of course, what does matter is the consistency. So if my light is one color on the skin, it's going to be the same color on the metals, for example. But that's not the importance of color, that is the importance of harmony. Well, you deserve it, 8. I'm sorry, but... You have betrayed Alpak. Okay. Looking good. Just gotta get the mid-tone here to shine through a little bit more. Again, I'm giving importance to the midtone not because of its color, but because of its value. If I lose this reddish color, I don't care about losing the color red per se. I care about losing the value that it gives me. Hello, Metal. Because this value being the first thing after the shadow is what basically gives the foundation to the light. If I don't have this color, the semitone, I'm painting off screen. God damn it, wait. I can fix this. So the semitone, which is the color turning away from the light but still being light, is basically the foundation of the paint job. If you lose that, you lose the entire painting. So it's very important that when you pick the color of the object you're going to be painting, you make sure that you don't lose it, even after many hours of painting over the detail. That color needs to be very visible. Hello Asgard, salut. So same thing we can be done on the face, because that's also gonna be darker. So the color can stay red overall, but it can be a red that has more of a cold feeling to it. Okay. Okay, better. Back to the light a little bit. Okay, we can push that light a little bit more. This is probably too much, but depends on the style that I want to go for. Hey, now he's looking really sexy, I think. Like same paint job, just a slightly better arrangement of the colors in it. But now, like, what I want to make point of is that it doesn't matter what color I picked. So like these reddish skin tone color that I have could have been any other color. It doesn't matter. It didn't have to be this color for the skin to look good. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. So now, another thing to talk about is the beard itself. Now, the beard, I have no idea what colors I used for it. It was like an orangish color with like some this in it. Yeah, that's kind of the color of the beard. If I add a bit of blue to it, it's gonna green out. I would like the shadows to be a little bit more visible. Let me get a black. It's a really good sculpt, yeah. It's a really good sculpt. Again, I can't really do it off of the... Okay. You see that when I place the color, it looks a bit shit, but then it dries and it looks like it belongs.
In time, you will know.
Thank you for the follow
massive extent
on
of
my own
creativity.
stream, Tom King. Welcome in. Cassian, what type of paint brush do you use for painting? Kolinsky brushes. The brand I use is mostly Rubloff. At the moment I'm using a Winsor & Newton, but I don't really suggest them. At least I'm not a fan. Like, they're good brushes, but they cost too much. All right, pretty good. This very same color I can kind of use for the wood as well, because it's very similar. All right, let me get yellow. I use Rubloff, Green Stuff World, and yeah, I'm now using also these ones. So this color is fairly warm. I can add blue to it just a little bit to cool it down, and a bit of black to darken as well. So question, OSL from the back, yes or no? What language is that, Nick? Yeah, but like, it doesn't matter if it has an OSL or not. I'm just gonna glaze it down. I need to regain the light, but it's easier that way. I just want a bit more saturation in that color. Yeah, you know, that's actually a genius thing, you know, Quindly? Being able to whitelist links from the website can allow people to link stuff and talk about models a bit more. That's not a bad call, actually. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, they do one every 2 years, bro. Reaper Kickstarter, I think... I don't know if Reaper, if Cool Mini or not, is higher, but like... Reaper Kickstarters are some of the Kickstarters that make the most money in the world of mini painting. Like millions of dollars. Wow. Did you just donate 100 bits in my own stream to have it happen here? How? Wow. That's commitment, man. Impressive. Yeah, no. I think it's Deserved. Absolutely deserved as an income. I wonder how much they actually make of profit. Because I don't think it's that much. Enjoy your dinner, cara. Okay. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Okay. So doing well here. Just gonna block in the colors and just blend them in, finish the golds here. No, with the recent releases, Reaper has really nailed it. You know, I was a bit worried for Reaper, considering the 3D printing market and all of that stuff. You know, like I was expecting people to look more into 3D printing, but like they have improved their quality so much that it's still better to get a mini from Reaper than printing one. Yeah, exactly. So you're saying previously, does that mean that I can add any other color which is on the color wheel near yellow as long as I keep blue in the shadow? No, I didn't say it. No, that's not what I mean. No. What I mean is that your shadow don't have to be blue, they just have to be colder than your lights. And to make them colder, there are several ways. One of them is going towards a cold color. Another one is to desaturate the warm color. And it's not like the shadows have to be blue, like they can just feel bluer, but not necessarily be bluer. Yeah, Zach. It can be anything, as long as it's colder. Like, it needs to be a color that is darker, because it's a shadow, than your midtone. And it needs to feel like it's a bit colder. If I have a hot pink and the shadow could be brown as long as it's colder brown than hot pink, yeah, it's about the relationship. Now, in terms of composition, it needs to make sense though. So like, for example, let's say, let me hide my face while I try to figure out a way to explain it. Let's say you have I don't know, a purple object, and you want to make it colder. So maybe your shadows will tend towards blue, right? That's fine. If in the same composition, another detail of the mini is, I don't know, orange, that orange will also tend to blue in shadow. Let me see if I can find a picture. But again, it's gonna be tough. But let's see. Tangent or something like Zorn. Zorn is not really good because it paints in weak light. Somebody that has like strong lights. Look at this guy again. This image is amazing, by the way. I don't know if you can hear me. I hope you can. 1 second. So I can't read chat, fortunately. Oh wait, maybe I can. Bad. Okay. Well. Just give me a second. So I'm using an artwork as a reference because, as I explained, I don't trust pictures. Like, pictures are good for values, but they are not very good for colors, in my opinion. Where the heck is the picture? No, it's not. Find it. Okay, so I'm trying to teach you things, you twats. Okay, so you should be able. Okay, you see this. So you're seeing this. You're seeing this. So if we go around and we color pick, so first off, the light is warm. Okay, on the top right here, you can see the color moving around. So the light is a warm color, which means the shadows are going to be cold. Now, what happens to the white? Well, the white will become gray and bluish, right? Because it's going towards blue. It's the color of the sky at the end of the day. Other details, such as the greens, for example, the greens will also go towards blue. But the way they interact with one another is going to be different. The reds, which are in shadow, you see that they desaturate, right? This color is a very grayed out color. So it's not like what happens to the painting is that everything becomes blue. It's not like everything becomes blue. It's more like everything tends towards blue. And it depends on the color itself. A color that is very saturated under a bluish light will still be very saturated. Less. And in this sense, like, simple color mixing gives you a pretty good idea. So like, if I get like a very pure red on my palette, so let me make a mix of a dark blue, right? So like blue with a bit of black in it, just to make sure that it's a darker color, basically. If I get my pure red and I slap it here, and I want to darken it, I will add some of this blue to it. Now, the more blue I add, the more the color becomes black, basically, right? Now, it's up to your artistical take how much the color loses saturation. But like, a saturated color, like a pure red, in shadow or in a situation of blue light, will not become just blue. It will become most likely something like this. Like a blued out red, but it still reads as a red. If your red is already desaturated, because maybe you're doing a skin tone, and you add this very same dark blue to it, then you will see that what happens to it is that the color becomes basically gray. And the intensity at which your color turns your original color into another is depending on the power of the light. So, if you're doing something that is being lit by a colored light, and the light is a light, like a source of photons or whatever you call them, that thing will have quite a bit of power on the colors that is illuminating. Again, I've done this a few times already, but I haven't done it on the Reaper stream, so I'm gonna do it again here. Let me get some fairly desaturated color. So I have a bluish color here, and I have an orangish color here, right? So these are not like very saturated colors. I'm gonna turn off one of my lights and do this, okay? So you see the colors, there's only one light illuminating them. If I change the light to a warm light, my orange becomes orangier. My blue becomes grayer. If I go back to the cold light, my blue becomes bluer and my orange becomes grayer. This kind of effect happens to all colors, all the time, no matter what. Now, it sounds easy, but it isn't, because like understanding exactly in a composition how much each color gets pulled into the new color of the ambient requires an incredible amount of experience in observation from real life. Because pictures do not give you the correct colors. I've talked about it on my stream today. A picture will never give you the correct colors. So like in mini painting and in art, the colors that we perceive in real life, we exaggerate their saturation also for a matter of pictures. Because if you keep the colors very realistic, what happens is your camera will flatten them exactly like it flattens real life. Like, and you can try this with your own phone right now. Look at the wall in your room. I don't know what kind of light you have going on, but like, look at an area of your desk or room where you can see colors happen. Like a piece of wood maybe, or like a panel of something. Just look at it intensely. You will see that there's a lot of color going on in there, even at very different changes in in color. Like, the color is moving very slowly, but it is. Take a picture of it and look at the picture. You will not see those colors. So working from a photo reference is a terrible idea if you don't have experience with real life. That's why today I was ranting about how much I really need to just go out and use my gouache paints to paint in gouache. Because as a bonus, if I get good enough at gouache painting, I can sell a piece of paper for 4 times the amount of money that one a miniature sells for. So, you know, it's not exactly a stupid endeavor, because by doing gouache painting, I improve my mini painting, and I also make probably more money than I would mini painting if I get really good at that. But anyway, that's how it works. And then there are like several other things that need to be understood to really nail volumetric painting, like for example occlusion shadows, terminals, not terminal, sorry, how the fuck they're called, terminus, I don't know the word in English. Like that dark shadow that happens before the reflected light on an object. Like I mean, I have too much light happening on here, but like, see here on my index, it's in light, then as you go down on the index finger, it gets very dark and then it gets light again. This line here is very difficult to master because it's incredibly tough to blend mostly. Most painters completely ignore it. They don't paint it. Which is not necessarily a problem because the paint job still looks good, but it does have issues in the believability of it all. Kirill, for example, paints it. Although there is one thing to be said against that line, which is it really frames your paint job in one direction only. So like if you do that kind of line too much, you will have your paint job kind of nailed in a position, because as soon as you turn it, that line will kind of be in the way and not look very realistic. Because of course, if you were in real life in front of this dwarfy boy and you were moving around it, light would move with you because it would bounce into your eyes. So this guy, if you were in front of him, would look like this. If you were on the side of him, he wouldn't look like this. This is not how he would look like if you were in front of him. As a painter, the best you can do in miniatures is nail the front view, because the side views, the more artsy you go in your painting, the more you sacrifice the side view. There's nothing that can be done about it. And like, you can quickly know that that's true because have you ever seen like a professional painter show a picture of the perfect side of a mini? Because like what you see from box arts and stuff like that is maybe one front view, another front view, and then back view. Maybe another back view. But like, you see 2 angles of the front and the back. Nobody shows the side, ever. Like, ever. Because the sides of the mini is where all of the terminals go, basically. So they just look shit. Me too, Asgard. My pictures are terrible. Sorry, it wasn't Asgard, it was Quindly. You guys have the same color in the nickname. I'm sorry, Quindly. Bup, 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 My paints are all dry already. That's impressive. That is impressive. A bit more white. I mean, I don't, you know, I don't dislike working with inks, by the way, for the light. Come on, Quindley. Don't be like that. You are my favorite misspelled mod. I misspelled it. Oh, I don't mind this white. I'm gonna keep it closer to my to use in the future. Hello, hi! How you doing? White ink is not terrible to use, especially if you're using thicker paints, which I do. I mean, it makes sense. I know people use lots of white ink in their painting when they're using like heavy bodies and stuff like that. I don't use heavy bodies, but I do use thick paints still, so. How's your day? It's been an interesting day. I was painting this lady. I didn't do as much progress as I would have liked on her, but she's looking all right. Once we clean up, for example, the eyebrows, they need to be separated a bit more from the face because right now it's looking too light, so it merges with the forehead. Like I need to work on separating stuff and cleaning up. I like it. But yeah, just working on it. Slower than I would like again, but again, I'm also going through a stage of change. Like I can feel my understanding demanding me more, so I have to pause and think more when I paint now. I'm not the worst painter ever, lady. Yes. Thank you, Neuro. No, what I want to do, and I don't want to forget about it, so me and Jennifer need to do it. I want to buy one of those artist books that people use to paint in watercolors. You know, like those books that you can just rip the page off and the page is made so you can do acrylic and gouache painting on top. I want to buy one of those, take it with me to Italy with these paints. Hopefully they're gonna do you think they're gonna let me take them on a plane? Can I take these on a plane? Do you think I can? It's below 100 mils, right? Like 100 below 100 milliliters, you can do it, right? So if I can, I want to take those with me and do some real life painting. Okay, well, I don't have a cabin BBD luggage, so I guess I'm not taking them with me. So rip dreams. Well, I want to still buy it and go paint around my little town. Did you try those paints on puppets? Yes, I have, and they're not terrible, but they don't work for my way of painting. Like, I like working with thick paint, and I like moving the thick paint around. Like, I treat acrylic almost like an oil. Like, I paint with acrylics the way you would paint with oil, I assume. Like, very thicker paint, moving it around. If I can, wet blend it. And those paints, they require a bit more of a layery approach, which is not my way of painting. As you see, like, I just like blocking in stuff. It's difficult for me to paint with that kind of mentality. So I can Asgard? There you go, it works. Nice. Well done, Neuro, with the genius idea, and well done, Quindley, for doing it. No, I wanted the green to be more like a spectre. Green. I'm so glad I am streaming and I'm not next to the thing, because I would have posted a link to Pornhub 100%. What's a mud gullet? By the way, Metal, you wanted a tutorial on global OSLs today? You're getting one right now. That's a cool guy. I like it. We know you would do that. That's a really good thing. That's a really good thing, yeah. Makes your work a lot simpler. Thank you, that's good. Let's see if we can actually make this diorama thing. I would like to. Having the OSL in the back makes the painting of the backs of each one of them much faster, of course. Because I don't have to worry about each color that is in the model. I can just have the OSL in there. Like, OSLs from the back are really cool because people that don't know think you are a genius painter. And people that do know do the same you are doing, which is an OSL from the back. So they keep quiet about the fact that doing this kind of OSL is actually the laziest thing you can do when it comes to painting. But nobody will know. It's our little secret. No, grayscale is actually harder, I think. A lot harder. I mean, if you do it lazily as a grayscale, yeah, of course. But like a proper grayscale is actually, I'm not talking about slap chop, but like a serious grayscale is a lot of work. Sorry, I'm camera. Shit. I have no idea what color to give the cloth, to be honest. Sure, this color. My paints are all dried. My opinion is that painting should always be difficult. If you ever get to the point where painting is easy to you, it means you are not trying to improve. Like, I know you're joking and everything, but like, I'm serious. Painting should always be incredibly difficult. At least for me, it is. It's always difficult. It is the stream. It's like a boss fight in Bloodborne. Yes. That's why I like those games so much, you know. I mean, I guess I like painting so much because I like those games so much. In the sense that for me, it's not a problem to. I mean, it is, but I accept the excruciating pain that comes with trying to be good at painting. It is a burden I am willing to carry. Of course, doing it for a living kind of helps with the carrying of the burden, because, you know. Dude's done. Dude's done. He's gonna be chilling like this on the base, on the left. It's gonna be like, I think towards the center is gonna be, I'm gonna be making like a, not a cauldron, but like a big torch. Not a torch. How do you call like those big cauldron-like things in which people put flames? It's gonna be one of those. A brazier, thank you. There's gonna be a brazier in the center of the room towards the back. So this green light is gonna come from that spooky brazier, and there's gonna be like a bunch more of these guys. I think next week we're gonna be doing one of the undead ones. It's gonna be cool to do a different take. So like there's living dwarves and dead dwarves. So that's gonna be fun. So what can I say, my friends? It's been a pleasure. And I wish you all a great rest of your day. I will be seeing you either next week or Friday on my own stream. And I hope to see you on my Patreon as well, because I have lots of guides there. So just, if you look up miniatures then on pretty much any social, Patreon, whatever, you will find me. So y'all, take care, have a blessed day, and I'll be seeing you later. Thank you for hanging out. Really, I mean it. Bye-bye.